going, guys? Welcome to another Ep1 Aquarium video. Today we're going on a little adventure. I'm going out to a local fish shop to pick up a brand new tank. I've also got something else that might be a bit of a surprise, depends on whether or not it makes it into this video. Alright, so we're on our way to UK Aquatics now, and we're going picking up a tank which I think can potentially be one of the best, if not the best, beginner reef tank. Now, the reason why I say that is because it just ticks all of the boxes. It's nice and compact, nice and small, so you can put it more or less anywhere in your home, and it's not going to take, it's not going to cause a major impact to your living space. It's, again, nice and compact, but it comes with everything that you need to run a basic reef. It's got the lighting, it's got the filtration, it's even peninsula, so you can see it from 3 sides, which is super cool. And best of all, it's cheap. It's a nice, cheap tank. I think the tank in the UK retails for around £130 or something like that. So it's a nice, cheap tank to get you going. Now, first of all, let me apologise in advance before we move on to the next section of the video, because I am filming this video with just in-body microphones. So what that means is the microphones that are actually built into the camera. The microphone input, which I'd normally put a proper microphone into, is broken at the moment. So when we get into the fish shops and more noisy areas, you will probably hear a lot of sort of like ambient sound. So apologise in advance. Right, so what tank are we going to be picking up today? Well, the tank that we are going to be getting is this. This is a Fluval Evo 13.5, and I think that this is one of the best beginner reef tanks around. It's an absolutely beautiful looking tank. It's peninsula, so you can see it from so we'll start at this side, 1, 2, 3 sides, so you can get a really good sort of like perspective of a reef. It's got its own light built in. It literally just is a button here. You press the button. If I can find where the button is, there you go. Goes on blues, press it again, it turns off, press it again. You've got your sort of like your white and blue. So it's a really, really nice little tank. It's got a rear chambered sump as well, with, I think it's got 3 chambers in it there, so you can have like all sorts of different types of stuff, so it can really run efficiently just on its own. And if you've got an IKEA local to you, like what they've done in this shop, is you can get yourself one of the Kallax stands, stick it on, and it'll all look pretty sweet and cool in your house. Now, at UK Aquatics, they're actually doing sort of like a full setup, and this is what I'm going to be taking. So this one comes with more or less everything that you need to get going. So they give you the sand, they give you the rock, and they give you a nice little bottle of ATM colony to start your bacteria culture and get everything going. The only thing that you're going to need to put into that is some water, really, and you're good to go. So I'm going to be taking this home. When I get it home, I'll do a bit more of a rundown of how it looks and what everything is happening with this tank. But this, my friends, I think is going to be an awesome tank for all of you beginners out there.
Now you got to admit, this is a cool little tank, innit? For 130 quid, 130 pounds, or probably $130, whatever it is where you are, this tank gives you a lot. It really does. Now, because it's 52 litres or 13.5 gallons, you've got a nice amount of space in this tank to be able to really play with it. There are limitations. It is a £130 tank, so you can't expect to get, £1,000 worth of stuff from a £130 tank, so it does have its limits. Now, I do have some sort of like options to help with those limits. Now, here's one. So the lighting control on this tank is a touch sensitive button. There isn't anything other than that, so it's literally just touch, you get whites, touch, you get blues, touch, and it goes off. That's it. There's no timer function, there's no Bluetooth, there's no Wi-Fi. It is literally on or it's off, and the only way you can do that is if you manually do it. Now there is sort of like a limitation with it where Ideally what I would do, I would just sort of like leave it on the white light and then connect it to a timer plug. But we have a problem because, let me just unplug it. The plug that comes with this, again, depending on what country you're in, this may not be a limit for you, but in the UK, it comes with this style of plug. Now, if I wanted to plug that into this type of timer plug, I won't be able to because it'll just press the buttons and it won't work. So what I've done to get around that is I've picked up these. So these are smart sockets. These are Wi-Fi smart sockets. It comes in this little square plug. So you can literally just plug the plug into there. And now you've got a plug that can not only give you a timing function, so you can set a timer so that you can have it coming on at a certain time, going off at a certain time. Granted, you can't change the lighting, but I would just ideally run this under white lights, and then just when you need sort of like a little bit of viewing pleasure, you want to see some corals pop, switch it over to blue manually when you want to. So what I can do with this now is a few different things. Like I said, I can log into the app on my smartphone and I can set a time. So like if I want this to run from 9 AM until 9 PM, for example, I can set a timer so it'll just turn the white light on and the white light off. Simple as that. I can also turn the plug on and off, even if I'm not at home. You know, I can very easily just log into my smartphone. There's the app. I've already got it preset up, Fluval Evo. And if I press that button, the light comes on. And I can do that from anywhere in the world. You know, turn that off and it goes off. Now there is an extra little function that is cool. And it's just a really little bit of a geeky thing that you guys don't have to do. But if you have a Google Home, if you have Google in your home, like a Google Home Hub or something like that, you can also link these plugs up to that. Now I am about to say what will trigger your Google Home, so you might need to mute it or whatever in a couple of seconds. But if I say, okay Google, turn on the Fluval Evo light.
Okay, turning Fluval Evo light on.
Do you know what I'm saying? Okay Google, turn the Fluval Evo light off.
Okay, turning Fluval Evo light off.
Now, obviously that's not something that you need to have on your aquarium, you know, but it's a nice little thing to have in it. That's a nice little fun toy. I will leave links in the description for these plugs if you want to use them. You know, the uses are endless. You don't even need to use it on an aquarium. You can put them onto your like household lamps and stuff like that. So you know, when you sat in the living room and you want to turn the lamp on, you can just ask Google to do it for you. You know what I mean? So I'll leave a link in the description. Now, there is another limitation with this, and it's going to be flow. Now, corals love flow. Currently in there, we've got 2 duckbills. Let me just pop it out and I'll show you. So these are what we call duckbills, and you can probably guess why, because the edge of this thing looks like a duck's bill. Now, these are all right, but they're not sort of like great because they basically sort of like direct the flow in a thin stream right across the tank, but it doesn't give any turbulence, it doesn't give any sort of like random flow or anything like that. Plus as well, these bills, what they do is, because they're sort of like, because they're narrowing down, they're putting back pressure onto your pump and they're making your pump work a little bit harder, which isn't ideal. So what I'll be doing is, I'll be taking those off and I'll be replacing them with one of these. Now this is a random flow generator by Vivid Creative Aquatics. And basically all it is I've got 2 knuckles of lock line. So we've got a bit of lock line there. We've got 2 knuckles of lock line and 1 random flow generator. If you want, you can just have 1 knuckle, it's up to you. I'm gonna use 2 just to give myself a little bit more movement. Literally all this does is I take this, move the lid out of the way, and then that duckbill that I've just removed, that'll come straight off and this will go straight on. And that's that. So that's on now. So what that is going to do for us is that is potentially going to give us the ability to not require a wave maker in this aquarium. Now, adding a wave maker in here as well will make this tank look it'll take up a lot of space, it'll look quite ugly, it won't be ideal. So what we're going to do is use that random flow generator to create random turbulent flow all around the tank. So rather than the flow just going like that constantly and then coming back around and just going like that, the flow is going to be all over the place. It's going to be very, very random, and the corals are going to get a real nice random flow all around them, which is ideal, and that's what they're going to love. Plus as well, because this tank does have its limits, and we're not going to be putting things like sticks, SPS corals into here, that random flow is going to make things like torches, hammer corals, you know, frog spawn corals, wavy, flowy corals. It's going to make those corals look even better because they're not just going to be sort of like bent over one way or bent over the other way. They're going to be flowing around all over the place. So that's what I'm going to be doing to this tank. There is one more thing that I'm going to be changing on this tank, and it's going to be the media basket in the back. I don't currently have that yet, but I will be changing the sponge out and putting a media basket in the back, which is a little bit more efficient than how it's currently set up. But other than that, this is going to be, you know, as stock as can be. You can very easily run it straight out the box without any of these upgrades at all, but they're the few little things that I'm going to do to make this tank more efficient, and so it means so that we can get better, sort of like a little bit more sort of like corals with a little bit more of a requirement in here, so that we can really make it look fancy. Right, guys, that is it for today. The next video that you see on this tank will be the setup video. So we are going to be setting this tank up from scratch. I'm going to be going through it all in the next video. Now what I am going to be doing in the next video is I'm going to be setting this up stock. So that duckbill that you've just seen, that will be on the tank. Other than the Wi-Fi plug, everything is going to be stock because I want to show you it set up, and then in the videos following that we'll be adding different things. Obviously we'll be taking the duckbills out, putting the random flow generator in, and we'll be following a process through this tank's life. So I hope you're excited. If you are a new person and you are looking for, you know, information and stuff like that to get you into this hobby, make sure that you hit the subscribe button now so that you don't miss the Fluval Evo video series. I do also have a couple of setup videos on my channel already, one of which is called how to set up a saltwater tank. The other is the super simple reef tank. So those are two setup videos, but this is going to be a series where we not only set up the tank, we follow its progression for a period of time. I hope you're excited. I'm excited because this tank is just so cool. Guys, thank you so much. If you have liked today's video, make sure that you hit the like button. If you've loved it and you'd want to see more, hit that subscribe button. Guys, see you all soon.